Aloha and welcome to Mana Inspiration with yours truly, Noted Dorrance. And like always, we're going to have our weekly scripture. This week's scripture is in Isaiah 41, verse 10, which says, "Do not fear, I am with you. Do not be anxious, I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you, I will uphold you in my with my victorious right hand." And as I was digging into that scripture a little bit more, what it sounded like to me is tough times. In those tough times, He is with you, He is your God, which also brings me to my title and my life scripture or life quote: tough times don't last, and tough people do. Tony Robbins says similar: weak people create bad times create strong people. Strong people create great times. Couldn't agree more. Les Brown says, if you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. Now, if you think back on a situation that you ever went through and it felt like there's no options, the walls are closing in, you don't see a way, I always try to remember, and I encourage you to remember, you made it. You're here. Here is maybe where you not want to be, but you can always build yourself up. You can always make a comeback. Now, in the darkest time is when the light comes. Also remember, He makes a way when we don't see a way. That's why we have faith in those times of these tough times. Because remember, it takes the tough people to encourage themselves to keep going through with the encouragement of God, go through those tough times, even though sometimes it's unbearable. I know, going through some tough times myself. This is why I am leaning on that word, on that scripture, on my life quote. Now, also remember, the more tough times you go through, the thicker this gets, the skin. The thicker you start building layers to making yourself more tough. And because of that, you start making yourself more uncomfortable. We all know the more uncomfortable you become, the more you grow. This is where we want. This is why we want to be uncomfortable. So that way we can actually break free and spread our wings. Speaking of wings, it brings me to the bald eagle, the American bald eagle. You know, it's majestic. It's one of the top birds. You see it, big wingspan, and it's one of the birds of America, represents our country, our freedom. Think back to baby bald eagle when they're in the nest. They want to be comfortable. And if you look at how the eagle is raised, they're usually raised on the cliff somewhere really high where nothing can reach them. And what eventually happens in this comfortable state where these baby eaglets, I would say, they get to that point where they're time to leave the nest, as the parents like to say. So the mama bird shoves them out. Once that happens, if they're basically in that free fall of don't know, all they need to do really, because they are that eagle, is spread their wings. Once they do spread their wings, that's when they catch flight. That's when they start soaring and realize who they are. So I question you, what's stopping you from soaring? You know, just like those baby eagles, they just realized that they just needed to spread their wings. So what's holding you back from spreading your wings and soaring? So I challenge you, this week. See what is those challenges you're facing. And even though it seems difficult, it seems uncomfortable, maybe it's just exactly what you need to spread those wings and soar. Aloha, guys. I love you. Salute to the troops. And like I said, I challenge you. What's holding you back from opening your wings and soaring? Soar through this life with what you're meant to do. Again, aloha, salute to the troops. Like the message, subscribe, share with others. Like we say at every Mana Inspiration video, we are here to get through this thing called life together. Again, aloha. You guys have a blessed week. Thanks, guys.